Hello, my loves. Welcome into this Aries new moon Act 2 solar eclipse reading for those who have this moon in their second house. That means your rising sign is Pisces, or 29 degrees 50 minutes of Aries shows up in your second house. Welcome in. If you did not watch the introduction to this reading, I do recommend going ahead and doing that. It gives you a basis for understanding what it is that we're going to be talking about here. I am doing things a little bit different for these readings in honor of the solar eclipse and in honor of the advice that I've been getting from these readings, which is to be bold and brave and share what's in my heart and share what I think is the most important information that I can share with you in order to guide you back to the wise instinctive knowing that exists within you. So that is why I've decided to set the intention for these readings to be to guide you to freedom from the human condition and utilize your house placements and alignments to advise based on the energy, the area of your life that this moon is happening for you, because this is the moon that it told me to, this is the moon that said, hey, it's time for you to talk about this. It's time for you to share this with people and let it be what it is. So here it is. Second house, just as a review, is the house of values. So this is values and valuables, ruled by the second sign of the zodiac, which is Taurus. And it deals with possessions, it deals with exchange, morality, finances, and self-worth. So this is the area of your life that we're going to be talking about applying the information from the freedom content presented by Jeremy Griffith. And if you want to get more background on this, as I mentioned in the introduction, the interview is a place to start. It's the place to start understanding this material in a deeper way. If my attempted synopsis in the introduction left you hanging, or if you just want to learn more, it will be the most important hour that you have spent in your life. So with that being said, let's review the card that came through for Act 1 of these readings, which was Parents. The divine truth is that your parents eternally love you to the best of their ability. The angels are helping you to heal from any pain associated with your mother and father. Big message there. Huge. Absolutely relates to the human condition. And I actually feel like I might have mentioned in your reading, Act 1, that I might have mentioned the human condition content because this card is so relevant to it. So let's dive deeper. Your house of values, your self-worth, and what you value in life is there may be a lot of human condition in this part of your life, is what I'm feeling is the guidance here. So your parents may not have offered you. You may be one of those people who experience an extreme lack of nurturing, an extreme lack of an ideal nursery condition, and you may have experienced the cruelty, the human condition of our world sooner in childhood than others. And so your sense of self-worth and what you value in life may have been shaped by this. So with this human condition content, there's like two aspects here that I really want to dive into. The one is the forgiveness for your parents, forgiveness for the conditions of your upbringing. And then the second is, how do you redefine your values, redefine your self-worth over the next 6 months to really anchor in the human condition content, awareness, truth, biological understanding, and how that can really shift you and support you. So parents, I do feel like I mentioned this when we talked about this for Act 1, but your parents did the best that they could. Your caregivers even. And you have had every right to be upset and angry and destructive towards them, to be that way in your life. You have had every right to be that's all I needed to say there. I don't need to add. And the truth is, they didn't get the loving and nurturing that they needed, they deserved. And that's part of what contributed to your nursery conditions, the conditions of your life. And their parents didn't get it, and their parents didn't get it. And this has been going on for 2 million years. It got revved up about 10,000 years ago. Okay. And that seems like a long time to us, right? But biologically, evolutionarily, it's not a long time at all, right? We had 10 million years of altruistic existence as a species. That's like nothing compared to 10,000 years, right? It's just a small portion, but it seems really big to us. So if you can really dig down deep into your heart and see the children that your caregivers are or were, and to see their hurt, to see how they needed to seek validation, how they worried that the reason they didn't get the love that they genetically expected was because there was something wrong with them. And the way that they may have acted toward you in unloving ways was a result of the way that they were acted in unloving ways, and it was how they coped with the human condition. If you can see the children, if you can see the innocence that had been abused, neglected, treated with disregard and contempt, innocence is such a beautiful, pure expression of our genetic inheritance, the 10 million years of altruism. That's what innocence really represents. And so it has been attacked by those whose innocence has been attacked. It's been attacked by the intellect, because the intellect has had to know, and the innocence is just like, no, this hurts, please stop. And the intellect's like, no, I have to keep going. I have to find out. I have to do this cause and effect thing. I have to see what happens when I'm selfish. And the instinct is like, no, this hurts. So the intellect has retaliated against innocence. There's a lot of things that we do that are retaliation against innocence. And I won't get into that here because it's not relevant to your card. But what is relevant is to be able to see the innocence of your caregivers and how that was repressed and attacked and hurt, and how that resulted in what happened to you, and that it was not because of your worth. So let's switch to the other thing I wanted to talk about, your worth. That's one of the main things that this content really opens up for us. We are worthy. You were born worthy. There's nothing that you did wrong to get the kind of treatment that you got as a child. You have an intrinsic worth, and everybody else in the world does too. Your parents, your caregivers, their intrinsic worth is just equal to yours. Okay? And so as you start to really hone in on this house of values, the house of worth, you're going to start to recognize and realize that over the next 6 months, your sense of who you are, your validation seeking, all of these things are going to shift and change, because you know intrinsically, without any job, without any good deeds, without any monetary factor, because we're talking about your house of values, we're talking about material goods. A lot of us have sought and been trained to seek material reinforcement to validate our existence and who we are. And you may notice over the next 6 months that your attachment to your material possessions shifts, changes, adapts, evolves. You may find yourself selflessly giving away some of your possessions to those members of our human family that have not gone in that direction and could use love and support. but you will do it coming from a place of that's where your instinct, your soul is urging you to do it. Not so that you feel validated, not so that you feel like you're a good person now because you gave all your stuff away, right? And that's not to say that that's what you're going to do. But a lot of times our charity and our giving comes from a place of, well, if I do this, then I can feel good about myself again for a little while, right? Until it rubs off. You're no longer going to be giving from a place, from that place. You're going to be giving from an instinctual, heart opened place that you know that if you have material reinforcement to share, that it is and feels so good to your heart to offer it selflessly to those who don't have that, because you desire on a soul base level to contribute to the whole in whatever way you uniquely can. And it may be financially, it may not. I'm just saying that because this is your house of value, so it may be relevant to you. You may have other ways of giving, and that's for everyone to determine for themselves. Your soul knows for yourself what it is that you are here to offer to the greater good, to the survival of this species and this planet. And not so that you can feel better about yourself, because you don't need to feel better about yourself, because you know you are worthy of love, of joy, of gratitude, of all of these high vibe emotions and vibrations, just simply because you are. You don't have to do a single thing to earn that. And your soul that you have reunited with, that you've created a peace treaty between your intellect and your instinct, and they're working together now, and they're guiding you toward what most fulfills your soul in a way of contributing to the freedom from the human condition for all. Solar eclipse energy, so big here. Oh my goodness. I am still kind of not believing that I'm doing this. So just a personal thing for you here. It's really inviting me to step out of my comfort zone. So thank you for being here on this journey with me if you've survived to this long. I really appreciate it. Remember that my entire goal and focus with everything that I offer is to simply guide you back to the wise, instinctive knowing that exists within you. This human condition understanding and this freedom content provided by Jeremy Griffith and the WTM, which is the World Transformation Movement, that information, this information, I feel is the most potent, scientifically backed knowledge that I can offer you to unlock that connection that you have with your instinctive soul. Let me know how this resonates. Let me know if you have questions. And as always, namaste. The universal light within me salutes and honors the universal light within you. Namaste.